Welcome to the Site-65 podcast. I'm your host, Robert Tomato Peterson, and we are all sick this week, so we are working from home. And, yeah, with me are a couple of goofy goobers. We have Executive Joris,
Yep, that's me.
we have Keegan,
Yo,
and we have Wybert.
Yep.
So, gentlemen, how are you doing this week?
Horrible.
Yeah. I figured as much. I picked
I'm
up,
dealing with stuff.
I picked up
I'm-
COVID over the weekend.
I'm working on a project.
Ooh. Yeah, I went to visit family over the week, and I come back and I go to sleep last night and I'm like, I feel pretty okay. Woke up this morning, my face was flushed, and I get a text from my mom, and she goes, "Hey, just so you know, my cousin has COVID, and I was with my cousin yesterday." So I was like, shit. So I probably have it now. I could feel like my throat starting to dry up, and it's the same thing I had last year when I had it. So this is going to be a fun week. How are you guys doing?
Could be better.
I'm pretty alright.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, so I haven't really been on site this week. Joris, I saw your DM. We cannot
Yes.
mention that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that is strictly a big no-no to mention that. But I do
don't
have
want to mention the king again. Oh no.
You
The what?
cannot mention King Kong.
Yeah.
Why not? What happened?
Look, just okay. Look,
I've been off site for a while.
I'm scared of monkeys. Okay.
After everything you've been through, everything, you're afraid of monkeys.
Well, not really monkeys per se. More like silverback gorillas.
I've seen you die almost 1,000 times. I didn't think this is what you were afraid of.
Look,
You've been
they're
around
huge.
682 on multiple
Have you
occasions.
ever?
So-
Okay,
I have seen you stand beside 682 and pet him on the chin. I'm
Well,
gonna refocus on my project before I get angry.
he's not a silverback gorilla.
Okay, tomato.
Look, when I was at the zoo when I was younger, I was wandering by, I was with my family, wandering by the gorilla enclosure, and we're just chilling, looking at the gorillas, and then one of the gorillas was just walking by the glass, doing his thing. He turns, he looks at my family, he looks at me, he looked me in the eyes.
You know when they hear about this, they're gonna
he
make fun of
pounded
you,
on the
right?
glass. I don't think it was very funny at all.
No, they're gonna make fun of you when they hear about this.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm telling everybody.
Nah, that's perfectly fine. You could say that. We all have irrational fears. I'm also afraid of spiders, if that makes it any better.
Oh god, don't talk about spiders.
Yay, another person who's afraid.
Not just spiders. You remember that giant spider? Holy shit.
Yes, I do. That was terrifying.
That happened in your state as well? Holy fuck.
Yes. Oh my god, we just woke up one day and there was a giant spider running through LCZ. It was awful. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to.
What?
I'm gonna have to go because things are happening.
Oh, okay, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I saw your message. I understand completely if you have to step out.
Yes, I have
So-
to go do some TOC work because things are very much happening very rapidly.
Alright.
Anyway, back on the topics of gorillas. Rest in peace, Harambe.
Oh,
Yes.
goodness. Bring back that joke. It's been years, for fuck's sake.
That's not a joke. I'm being serious.
Listen, everything started to go downhill when they killed that damn gorilla.
Yeah.
Everything went
So-
down to hell when 682 first broke out of containment. So what?
I mean, yeah, but
Foundation's
it wasn't
never
a
been the
gorilla
same.
getting shot.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Look, I'm
I feel like
sick. I'm
one
not
thing is
thinking
more
very
relevant
clearly.
here.
Uh, anyways, um, Keegan,
Mhm.
it's been a bit since you were on the podcast last. Um, what have you been up to?
I've currently been trying to rewire this robotic arm.
Oh, wonderful. Tell us more, please.
Well, the robotic arm is for synthesizing some odd form of ionizing with the PAC unit. Because last time I fired it, or I didn't fire it, but Carl did, and he nearly killed somebody. So I'm trying to make a safety pin on it.
I
And
had an
turns out,
interaction with Carl this week.
really? Wow. Like everyone tried to
Yes,
call me
it's one of the
crazy.
few times I've actually seen the guy. Um, I was chilling. I was actually funny. I was in the cafeteria on Monday, and I was just sitting there, and I was just thinking out loud. I was on my laptop, and I go, "Gosh, I could really use some coffee right now." Within 3 seconds, some guy hands me a decaf mocha, and I go, "Uh, thank you." And I look up, and he's like, "No problem," and he just walks away. And I said, excuse me, come back here, sir." And he kind of turns, he goes, "Yeah." And I go, who are you? Because you're not supposed to be where the researchers, eat our, food. And he goes, eh, and just walks away. And I'm pretty sure that was Carl.
That sounds a lot like Carl. He
Yeah.
likes to walk into the research section without actual, and then he walks into our fucking lunch table every time. I'm honestly not gonna be surprised if we're filming one of these at one point and he walks in and just sits down and starts talking.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, other than the weirdness of it and that he knew exactly what drink I wanted and had one 3 seconds after I asked for one. Seems like a pretty decent guy.
Hmm.
We have a lot of weirdos on site.
Could use him as a lab
Oh
assistant.
yeah.
Maybe because I don't know, he seems kind of weird. He could be an anomaly, so I could use him as a lab rat.
But we have actual rats for you to use.
True, but the D class aren't as fun.
Wait, we have rats?
Yeah, they're D-class.
Oh.
I think
That
the
was the
only good D
joke.
class I've ever had that
Ah.
is like a good D class is what was his name? D2394. Oh man. He was a good guy, actually. Don't trust the
Yeah,
D class and all, but he was a good guy. Helped me with a lot of
occasionally
tests.
you get a good one out of the bunch. Most of the time they're just awful human beings who don't want to be there. But occasionally you get one who's just like, I'm in this circumstance. I might as well, participate because because they think it'll get them their freedom.
I hated watching
Yeah.
him get shot dead.
Yeah, it is a shame when you grow to like a D class and then he gets mauled by 096 or something like that. Ugh, it
There's
is a
something different
shame.
Yeah.
about him, though. Like, a lot of D class are always, the same. They're always just
Oh!
say awful shit to you. They'll try to stab you. I've been stabbed at least a few times. But this D class didn't do any of that.
Actually, now that I think about it, something weird happened this week with 096 that I want to discuss with you guys.
Oh, it was,
So, as we know, 096 typically sits in his little cube and doesn't really do much. He
yeah.
just kind of chills there and walks around occasionally and, paces and cries.
Hmm.
Well, we woke up to this was Tuesday. Um, we woke up to a massive dent in the side of his containment from the inside.
Huh.
So it was from the inside going outwards. It looked like someone punched
Oh.
the inside of the containment cell. And we played back cuz we don't have security cameras, inside his CC for obvious reasons. But we
Hmm.
have them watching the containment cell just in case, if anyone tampers with it, we can go and, check. So we went back and looked at about 2 a.m. We hear him stop crying, and then and then it looks like we just think he punched the wall.
Hmm. Odd behavior. Ought to be
Yeah,
researched
very.
more. I'd get somebody on that.
Yeah, so obviously we have to replace his containment cell because we need something. I mean, there's no material that can impede him that we know of at this time, but we need to at least fix up the containment cell because otherwise, bad things will just keep happening. And if he, becomes more violent, we're gonna have to come up with better containment. I always thought the best containment would be like a 682 style where we submerge him in some kind of acid.
Hmm. I like that idea.
I'm no scientist, right? But what if we just got a rocket, shot him off into space?
Tried that once, didn't work.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, excuse me for a minute.
Yep, no problem. Uh, go get your coffee. Wybert, what have you been up to?
oh, the same old, same old.
Yeah.
I killed someone.
Why
But
do you
we're not-
say that so casually? I
We're
shouldn't
not allowed
be
to talk
laughing.
about that. We're not allowed to talk about that.
Okay. I genuinely was not expecting that kind of response from you.
Yeah.
Just so casually. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
killed someone. It happens. Whatever.
Rest in peace, Lieutenant Commander.
It's such a shame. I hate watching my friends die on this site, but
Yeah.
it's all for the better good of science.
Yeah, I don't know why he shot me.
He shot you?
Yeah.
Where
It was
did
a
he
weird
shoot you?
situation. It was a weird situation.
Wait, where did he shoot you?
I don't know, my body.
Oh, okay.
Legs.
Yes, obviously your body, but okay.
I think it was like,
not...
the MTF training room near there?
Yes.
Yeah, like next to PW?
Yes.
Horrible, horrible, horrible experience. Not like anybody enjoys being shot.
No, I can't imagine that being fun in the slightest.
Yep.
I actually had a unique interaction with the Civ this week.
Yeah?
So, for those of you who are listening who aren't on Site-65, we are located in a town called Pinewood. It's not on any map. It's just kind of there. It's where we farm most of our D-class from. Well, those civilians like to wander. And they like to occasionally get into the base somehow. We're not entirely sure how they get into the base. They just kind of appear there, and then they get dazed and confused because they typically fall somewhere, or they get eaten by an SCP. But I walked in to 049CC to do a test, and there was a Civ in there, just chilling, talking with 049. And the thing that really got me was his door was closed. Like, it's one thing if his door was left open and the Civ just wandered in, but there was no earthly means on how this Civ got into 049's containment. And I asked 049, I said, hey, how come you haven't, cured this guy? And 049 goes, well, he doesn't have the pestilence. And I go, okay, so how'd he get in here? And 049 just kind of looked at me. He didn't respond. And I think they're working on something. Now, granted, the civilian was taken out of the containment cell, promptly amnesticized, and returned to surface. But the fact that he was able to get in there without anyone knowing, and without opening any doors, was kind of scary.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes,
I mean, yeah, but it's still strange. It's just really weird when shit like that happens, but I mean, what do I know? I'm just a scientist. It's been a rough week. We've had an influx of we occasionally get members from other departments who want to join research. And sometimes they just join research because they think it'll be fun to mess with the SCPs and like just they don't understand that the whole purpose of being a researcher is to study and test on these SCPs and learn more about them. They just think it's fun to throw D-Class at 682 and see what happens.
I mean, that is quite fun.
It is. I'm not going to lie. It is quite fun. But at the same time, it's not ethical. We're not supposed to do it.
I probably couldn't do research if I tried. The only time that I tried joining research is when they taught me thaumaturgy.
We
Good
also...
days.
Yeah. We've also had the issue of other departments coming in and stealing our chemicals.
Do you guys not have the biometric lock on your chemicals freezer?
We do, but people still find a way to get through. We walked in one time and the door was pried off its hinges.
Huh.
Yeah,
Do you just not have a code on the door?
We do. The door was still pried off its hinges.
Excuse me, I have returned.
Hello, Keegan. We're talking about the amount of times people have stolen chemicals from researchers.
Oh, I've lost count.
Yes.
Always
And
for
Vibert
drugs,
was
but-
asking why we don't have containment like biometrics or stuff on the door, and I keep saying we do, but they find a way in.
I always find a goddamn way. It's gotten really annoying, honestly. I stored a lot of really neat chemicals in there, and someone took it. Yeah, whoever snorted those or did anything with those, they're dead.
Like, they're dead, or you're gonna kill them dead?
No, dead.
Oh,
Like-
okay, cool.
Like, those chemicals were extremely radioactive.
Why are you keeping radioactive chemicals in a freezer?
I need them for my proton PAC units.
Yes, but they're also radioactive.
Yeah, I have a
Please tell
warning.
me they're at least encased in lead.
Of course they're encased in lead. I even have a warning on them, but yet they still took them. I don't know if they're gonna snort them or they're just playfully... What's that word? I don't know. They just decided not to read the label. It's just gone. And I found a few dead bodies.
I
Most
blame
of dead of-
Caesar.
Dead of Caesar? Yeah, I miss him.
Well,
Most of
shit
radioactive
happens.
poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I didn't really have much for this episode because I've been kind of out all week with family. But I wanted to at least record something for the other sites to listen to because I've gotten a lot of feedback and people really enjoy these podcasts, and I'm really happy that I get to do them. And even though I'm coming down with sickness, I wanted to do something before I can't speak tomorrow because my voice is all crackly. So I think we're just gonna end the episode here. Keegan, do you have anything you want to say?
Don't build a proton PAC in your lab that has low voltage, or it will explode.
Fair enough.
I nearly died.
Wybert, do you have anything you want to say?
Just a quick word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
We
no.
don't have we unfortunately don't have sponsors yet, and if we do, I don't entirely know how that's ever gonna work. But maybe one day. In the meantime, this has been the Site-65 podcast.
All right.
I have been your host, Robert.
No,
Tomato
but seriously,
Peterson.
my final words. Word from our sponsor, Prometheus Labs.
I hate you.
I don't think the lower clearances are supposed to know about that, so edit that part out.
All
God damn it.
right, I will. All right, thank you, and thank you for listening.